calling all instructional coaches, curriculum specialists, teachers on special assignment, or whatever they call you. I'm Matteo Souza.
And I'm Katie Ritter. As instructional coaches, we are often responsible for our own professional learning and can sometimes feel pretty isolated in our role.
That's why we're here, bridging the gap with a wealth of tips, tricks, and building a community of coaches.
So hit the restart button with us.
Recharge your coaching batteries.
And hopefully you'll leave feeling just a little bit less on your own coaching island. Welcome back to the Restart Recharge podcast. We are kicking off part 2 of our 2-part series with Torie Millette and Jordan Petrie. If you missed part 1, we were talking all about their journey from the classroom into coaching, how they approach technology overwhelm and working with teachers in this really fast-paced education environment. Go back and listen to that if you missed it. In today's episode, we're going to talk about how they work as this dynamic duo coaching partnership, how they've been able to lean on each other, and also how they've transitioned from one district together into a brand new district and glean some insights from that. So welcome back. If you happen to watch any of the videos, we all did not just wear the same outfit twice.
No, everything's fine.
We just continued on.
No judgment here.
Oh, goodness. Okay, I want to kick it off, and I'd love to know, because we know, in our intro, we always say, like, if you're on your own coaching island, we know so many coaches work alone. I think we've been seeing a shift in a lot of districts nationwide where there are more coaches. But, Celine, we had your literacy partner coach on a number of episodes. You guys talked about the great way that you all work together. So I'd love if we could kick off the conversation just talking about how you two have worked together and how you've supported not only one another, but also like all district goals through collaboration, discussion with each other, and then implementing them in your own respective ways and environments in the buildings that you serve.
Yeah, I think Jordan and I think that this is true, but we were really fortunate to start our coaching journey together because we were fresh out of the classroom. So having someone who was also a baby coach to take on this new journey was really, really nice. It's really cool to be able to be in our content areas where we're kind of experts on those things and then sit down and talk about the trends that we're seeing overall. Because being in a coaching role is you understand the teaching side, you learn more about the admin side, you end up in this middle section where you're advocating for both sides. Yeah. And then you end up getting your finger on the pulse of everything because your boots on the ground, seeing what's going on in the buildings at all times. And then we take that back to the admin, the district leaders, and report on what we're seeing so that we can go back and implement change. So it's very linear. A lot of the times what we're seeing at the high school level is happening on the elementary level, just with a different twist on it. So it's nice to be able to have that person in an area that you're not as familiar with that can make those things make sense for you. At least it is for me because I've never been in an elementary setting. I've always been in secondary. So being able to understand a little bit more about technology with littles is really helpful for how I help middle and high school students with technology. Having that background is helpful. And then there's just making connections with teachers and staff across the district. Just yesterday, you emailed me about the new psychologist, and Jordan wondered how could I connect her with somebody at the secondary level to find her a buddy, someone that can lead her and work with her. So I don't have to be in the elementary schools to know what's going on because Jordan makes it accessible for me. I hope I can kind of do that for you as well.
I was just going to say logistically too, we usually try in the beginning, like when we're first starting, even if we're not serving certain people or at a certain school, like we tried to go out and like meet all of the different admin, all of the different people in those roles, even if we don't see them throughout the school year, just because at least, we know who each other's talking about. We could kind of have an idea of who's in charge of what's going on where. And then we do have those options for when like we need a little bit of cross help, making sure that although it can be easy to get caught up in our day-to-day, it's easy to focus on elementary. I'm sure Torie feels the same way about high school, but just making sure that we're still viewing it as a full district. So we're always communicating. And part of our work too at Forward Edge, we get to be together on Fridays. So we always kind of debrief about what's going on, which helps us keep it all together.
That's great.
Looking for a program that reaches all teachers in learning new tools to integrate in their lessons? Edu Badges is the answer. Edu is an anytime, anywhere badging program that is designed to take bite-sized tools for instruction and teach teachers how to use them. Edu has received the ISTE Seal of Alignment for Educator Standards and each badge in our expanding library is aligned to the ISTE standards and the SAMR model. Learn more about the program that teachers call addicting at forward-edge.net/edubadges.
So recently, Torie and Jordan have found themselves amongst a new district. We would love to hear about your experience and what it looks like to reset in the new space. What are some things that you've carried over skill-wise throughout your coaching experience into a new setting? What is your way of restarting and getting back into a groove somewhere new?
I know for me, having been 3 years since I started at a new district, I had to remind myself what I even did when I first started. This is my 4th year coaching. It's my first year at the new district, which is like a whole new world. So
Yeah.
I had to remind myself, okay, we're going around, we're introducing ourselves to everyone. We're sending out these different emails to introduce ourselves. We're meeting all the admin and things like that. We actually had the opportunity before school started to meet all the admin, to meet all of the new teachers, which was really nice, and kind of get our eyes on all those newbies that we knew we had to go visit. And then some of the admin actually took us around. I know I got to meet with the different principals and assistant principals at each one of the elementary schools, which was really nice in the beginning, just to hear from them hey, what are your goals for the year? Make sure I'm starting off on the right foot of what you want me to focus on, because you don't always get to meet with admin, especially once the year starts. It gets really crazy, and that can always fall to the wayside. So doing it in the beginning of the year was really, really helpful and kind of helped me get my mind on straight. And then it turned into all those logistics, right? I'm sending out the emails, I'm making sure to go around and meet everyone. The hardest thing for me has been just learning everyone's names and faces and where they are in the building. Even things as simple as getting lists of rooms and a map of the building is very helpful in the beginning of the year, and all things that I totally forgot that I had learned at my last district and took for granted. So I'm kind of still in that phase of getting to know everyone, starting to build relationships and show people why I'm there. We are fortunate to have had a coach there before us, specifically a forward edge coach for the past several years. So we haven't had as much of this is what we do, I need to clarify my role. That was kind of already done for us, which was really nice. So now it's a big focus on just building relationships and showing our face and letting them know that we're there for them. So that's the phase I'm in right now.
I'm in a very similar phase. It's great to be in a district for a long time because those relationships, just like you would with kids, you need to build the trust with adults too. They still need to be able to feel safe and around you so that they can learn from you and come to you with issues or solutions. So I'm in that phase of getting to know the school itself, the layout, because my last district was quite a bit smaller than the one that I'm in right now. So my staff list has doubled, maybe tripled at this point, but the similarity is they're still both rural schools. So there are some skills to transfer because as a rural girl myself, growing up in a rural area, that's something that's close and near and dear to my heart, and I enjoy that background. That was actually one of the first things that an assistant principal asked me. It was what do you know about rural schools? And I was I am rural schools. It's all I know. It's all I've taught in. It's what I attended. It's what I've coached in. It's where my passion lies. And
what should someone know about rural schools?
That they're all similar and different at the same time. There are trends that you will see in rural schools that mimic each other, but just like anybody or anywhere else, they have their own special nuance. They're very proud. Rural schools are incredibly proud because when we're thinking about education on a global scale, our eyes typically fall to the city schools. And that's fine and fair because the eyes are usually on the pulse of what's happening in Chicago Public or something like that. But there are so many rural schools that have lots of things going on, like we saw at our last site. There's always things in that community going on that are not on the radar of the greater educational public because it's just kind of a dot out there in the middle of a bunch of trees. And so there's a lot of pride about the community itself. They're very, very full of pride with what they do. They're very close-knit. But at the same time, rural schools are typically about 10 years behind the city schools in terms of curriculum, mindset, technology, etc. So going in and knowing that and being respectful to that is something that a coach should definitely know. If you're not familiar with rural schools, go in ready to learn about rural schools and be ready to listen more than you're ready to talk, because you need to earn that trust. Because I've been an outsider and I've been an insider, and it's very, very nuanced. I really believe in rural schools. I believe in giving those kids the same chances that any other students would get. So it's very important. And I'm just glad I have that background from a teaching and coaching perspective now. And I can go in and kind of earn that trust by saying, oh yeah, I grew up in Ironton, Ohio. They're like, oh, okay, you're one of those. And I'm like, yes, I am.
You immediately have some street cred.
I do have street cred because I'm one of the, well, then my accent comes out and they're like, well, you know, welcome home. And then I'm like, I got to go get my oil changed. And they're like, I like her. She said
she's
oil.
it.
Yeah,
She's the one.
she said oil.
Yeah.
So like that is something that I pride myself on, but also being able to come in and be like, I'm here to listen to your problems and take you in a way that is comfortable to you. And that's great for me getting to know people right now. But I'm also doing those clerical tasks, getting things lined out. When is a good time for me to drop in on that science teacher so that they won't feel overwhelmed? Making connections with the admin, finding the staff bathroom, those little things that you don't actually think about. That's the stage that I'm in. But because we had great coaches before us in this district, they know why we're there. And so we can really focus on building relationships and being seen. And it's really fortunate that we are following behind some very experienced coaches. It looks a little different than it did when we started, but I like shaking up the routine of getting started in a new place. It's testing my skills and pushing them a little further. It's great to be in one place for 3 years, but sometimes you can't get too stagnant, you know? So I'm in the learning and absorbing. It's the sponge phase. I'm in the sponge
I like
phase.
that. Good logo.
It's
good
hard.
logo
Like,
for it.
it's hard to accept that, you know, that it's like, this is just a period of overwhelm that's going to pass, and I'm just taking in all this new information. But it does pass, and then it turns into what we had in New Richmond, where it's like very comfortable. You know?
To comfortable to the point that we still have connections there, and I know that will happen for us here too.
That's great. Well, and I think it's good to call out that we're recording this August 22nd, right? So like we're only like a week-ish, not even 2, maybe right at 2 weeks into school. So I don't know when-ish this is gonna air. But I'm just curious, maybe by like October, where do you hope to like see yourselves in terms of like how ingrained you are, the types of work that you're doing with some of the teachers, knowing that that coaching role has already been established? Where would you hope to see yourself October-ish in the district?
Yeah, I think by that point, hopefully I'll figured everything out, where to go, where the staff bathroom is, right? And met all the teachers. They know who I am. They know where to find me and how to get in contact with me. And then I'm starting like the real work. So I'm starting coaching cycles with them. You know, the coaches before us kind of helped them understand what those are. So that makes it easier for us to launch those and really get into some like meaningful work with teachers. And just like getting into classrooms too. Not only to like see what's going on and see what they're working on and be able to help in that way, but also, you know, to help directly with the students too, which is one of my favorite things to do, especially in elementary. So hopefully by October, if everything goes as planned, I'll be launching coaching cycles and I'll be in the classrooms.
Those are good goals.
Smooth sailing for the rest of the year.
Easy peasy.
Knock on that one, Jordan. What about you, Torie?
I mean, I was going to say the first thing that popped into my mind when you said those, I want to be in the classroom. I want to be ingrained in the classroom to the point where students know why I'm there. Because I love working with the students and I love when they know me. I ran into students that know me and have recognized me at the airport and just like pointed at me and I'm like, yeah, you know who I am. So that's what I want to be recognizable to, not just the staff but to the students, and I want the staff to feel safe enough to have me in the classroom. You know, I'm not walking in with a laptop under my elbow to sit in the back and watch what you're doing. I'm there to be your wingman essentially with this whole process. So I hope to be in the staff meetings regularly, having some PD situations, and feeling like the teachers are coming to me with what they need rather than me going to them with what I think they need.
Great goals for both of you.
I'm sure this district is very lucky to have you both, because you both are immaculate human beings and you're going to do amazing. I already know it. Do you all have any tips or tricks or resources that you would give maybe someone new to coaching, or maybe that is going into a new district this year?
I think one of my best ones would be go in to listen. You know, I think that filling silence with words is a typical response. Go in and listen to what's going on around you. Take those notes. So listen more than you talk.
Good one.
I think getting all the information that you need to start out, because like you don't want to find yourself in November being like, where's this teacher's classroom? Or when's the plan time? I don't know when to stop in. So like first thing, if you can get in with the secretary and say, I need the class list, the plan times, the different maps and all those, just so you have it, that's when I can like get my mind straight. It's once I have all of those things.
Exactly
So just get those out of the way as soon as possible.
Take that time sitting down to do those tasks because they have to be done, and then after that you're going to feel like you can go and be around and not have to worry about all those office clerical tasks that you have to do. So take care of the clerical time, and then I think make yourself visible. Make yourself very visible. Sit in the media center. Sit in the lounge where it's populated. Forget your mug somewhere and go pop in.
I did do that on accident the other day, but it really worked out for me.
That's something new.
Let them see
I've
you
got
as a
more
person.
questions. Let's restart, recharge after dark.
Yeah, after dark. I love that. No, hey, a little subterfuge never hurt anybody, especially if it's for the good of the people. But yeah, be visible. Walk around. Look confused so people ask you what you need, and then talk to them like they're a person. Because the humanity of it, the human aspect, first and foremost, will set you up for success with every single other thing. Be a human, recognize the others as humans.
I love that. That's really good. I'm going to put you on the spot, though, as like bonus tip. Because you started, and you did something really clever back to like learning really quickly. Where is everyone at? The maps, the classes, the teachers' names, all of that. What did you do when you started at your brand new district last year?
Because my school district is very large, I decided to lean on tech. So I created a notebook. I threw everything, including class lists, schedules, which I need to refresh actually for this year, and I put it all in a notebook LM, so that way as I was going about, I pulled it up on my phone. Hey, where's this teacher's classroom, or when is this block period of time, like when do they have plan time for this amount of teachers? And so that kind of helped me build my schedule. I didn't have to sift through all these documents, so that's a great way to include tech, just creating a notebook LM, which is a great way to customize your coaching experience.
I remember you doing that, and I stole it from you this year because everything is so much bigger for me. Game changer. Because I'm not a sheets guru like some people sitting in this room, but that helped me create things to help my data collection because data or it didn't happen, essentially. So that is a big feather in your cap that I took from you.
I'm so glad.
That helped me so much and expedited my clerical time.
Oh, good. I'm
So,
so excited.
snaps and claps
Someone
for
else
you.
is using it.
Snaps and claps.
Thank you so much, everyone, for watching part 2 of Restart Recharge with Torie and Jordan as our special guests. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out with us. And we'll see you on the next episode. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks for spending time with us today. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with an educator friend.
And connect with us on social media at RRCoachcast to let us know what you thought of the episode and what topics you want us to discuss next.
New episodes drop every other Tuesday. Be sure to subscribe to Restart Recharge wherever you listen to podcasts.
So press the restart button.
Recharge your coaching batteries and leave feeling equipped and inspired to coach fearlessly with the Restart Recharge podcast.
A Tech Coach Collective.